Hello, good evening.
Good evening, sir.
How are you, Alexander?
I'm fine, sir. How are you?
I'm doing good. Okay, so Alexander, have you been informed about the Viva today?
No, sir.
Okay, so but I need to take the Viva today, and I think I have shared the topic with Nishkash. I don't know why you didn't get the topics. So I've been told to take the Viva of both of you. So the chapter that I gave were final accounts, bill of exchange, and single entry. And other than this, in the economics section, I have given these chapter like index number, theory of cost, revenue, and production. So I'll be asking you a question from these chapter only.
Okay.
Okay. So but
Okay.
let's just do one thing. So because you are not informed about the Viva, so what we will do, we will take the Viva of economics only today, and then in the next session we will take the Viva of the accounts part. Will it be okay?
Okay, sir.
Okay. So just write it down. I'm telling you the chapter. Write down the chapter of the economics. Theory of cost, revenue, and production, and index number from statistics. Okay, just leave index number. I'll be asking you question from the cost, revenue, and production only. Cost, revenue, and production. These are the chapters from which I'll take the Viva. But I'll take the Viva in the next session. Right now, we will finish this chapter. We will be finishing index number. And okay, I think we have started this chapter in the last session wherein we talked about the meaning of index number and the different methods by which index number can be calculated, right?
Yes, sir.
So I think I also gave you a few questions for homework as well. No,
Yes, sir.
you done those questions?
Sir, I've done two of them and then I got stuck at the square root part.
Okay. All right. So just a minute. Give me a moment. Okay, let's do one thing. Let me give you one more question, and I'll be helping you calculate the under root this time. But other than under root, you will have to calculate everything else. Okay.
Okay.
Okay. Just a minute. Let me find the question. Are you able to see the question, Alexander, on screen?
Yes, sir.
Yeah. So you are required to do this question by Fisher's ideal method. Okay.
Okay.
So I'm giving you, I guess you can do it in 10 minutes. So accordingly, I'm giving you 10 minutes. Okay.
Okay.
Just keep this in mind that while calculating the index number by Fisher's ideal method, you will require Q1 and Q0. But as you can see in this question, you are not provided with any information regarding the Q1 and Q0, right? So how will you find that?
Uh, uh, I don't know.
You don't know. See, in this question, value is given, na? So value will be treated as the total amount of expense, right?
Okay.
So that
Yeah.
means that that customer is spending on commodity A total of 18 rupees when the price of commodity A was 3 rupees, right? So that means how much of the total quantity that he must have bought? If price was 3 and total spending was 18, that means how much quantity he must have purchased. Unable to figure out?
Sir,
It's simple, na? Total expenditure made is 18 rupees, and the price for which 18 rupees was spent, the price of that commodity was 3 rupees. That means total 6 quantity must have been purchased.
yes, sir.
So we will divide 18 by 3, we will get the quantity. Okay?
Okay.
Okay, please first of all note this question down and then start solving it. Note it down in your notebook and then start solving it by Fisher's ideal method. Steve, is that you? And 1, 2, 3, 4. Hello.
Yes, sir.
Okay. So why have you joined so late for the class?
Sir,
Hmm.
uh, we were like going to go to church, so we become
On the
late.
choice. Okay, all right.
Okay.
So Steve, I have given this question to solve. You need to find out index number in this question by Fisher's ideal method.
Okay.
Do it fast. Don Alexander.
Sir, I found P1Q0 and P0Q0 sigma.
Okay. Tell me the values.
Sir, 264 P1Q0 and 151 P0Q0.
Just a minute. Let me check. 264 and 151. Right. That is correct. Done
So,
with the yes, yes, Alexander.
yeah, P1 Q1 I got 260.94.
P1 Q1 should be 265, Alexander, and P0
Sir,
Q1 should be 158.
so there is a decimal value that.
Okay, okay, okay. Just a minute. I think there is some mistake in the question. I need to correct it, and I forgot to tell you that. So just make one correction. Sorry, you will have to correct the value of the current year quantity should be 14 instead of 10. The value of commodity A in the current year, it should be 14 instead of 10. So make this correction, please.
Okay, sir.
Okay. So this is why the difference is arising. Your answer should be the summation of P1 Q1 should be 265 and the P0 Q1 should be 158. And after calculating this, you will simply put the value into this formula and then find out the answer. Done, Alexander.
Yes, sir.
Okay. So see, you should get P1 Q0 should be 264, P0 Q0 should be 151, P1 Q1 should be 265, and P0 Q0 P0 Q1 should be 158. Is that what you have got?
Yes, sir. I correct it.
Okay. Now you will put these value into the formula, right? This like this, and after calculating these value, 264 divided by 151, you will get 1.748 approximately, and then when you will divide 265 divided by 158, then you will get 1.677 approximately under root, and then we will multiply it by 100. Now the thing is that you are facing problem calculating the under root, right? So when you will multiply 1.748 and 1.677, you will get 2.93. Now the thing is that you don't know how to calculate the under root, right?
Yes, sir.
Okay, so let me help you. See, whenever you want to find out the under root, we will write it something like this. Just a minute. 2.93. Okay, so first of all, we will make the pairs, and pairs are always made from the right hand side. So these will be one pair, and this there will be no pair for this. So what do? We will first divide this value by any number. Okay, so in order to for dividing this value, what do? We will take 1, multiply it with 1. So see, if you will take 2, you will have to multiply it with 2, and when you will multiply 2 into 2, you will get 4 here. So 4 is obviously greater than 2, so you cannot divide, you cannot take the 2 as the factor, you will have to take only 1. So this is why I'm taking 1. When we will multiply it with 1, we will get 1 into 1 here, and then we will subtract it. So 2 minus 1 will be 1. Okay, now we will add 1 plus 1 and write it here 2. All right, is there any problem till this point?
No, sir.
Okay, now after 2 we have a decimal, so we will take this decimal here. So this decimal will be taken upwards, and then we will carry forward, carry down this value 193. Okay, now now we will, let's suppose if I take 5 here. All right, so I'll be putting 5 here also, and then I'll be multiplying 25 into 5. So when you will multiply 25 by 5, you will get 125. So I think 125 is very less than 193. So I will take a larger value. So just a minute. So instead of 25, let's take, just a minute. Instead of 25, let's take 27. So 7 will be taken here, and I will write down 7 here as well. Now we will multiply 27 by 27. Let's calculate it. 7 into 7, 49. Carry 4, 7 to the 14 plus 4, 18. So 189, right? Is this clear, Alexander?
Sir, we are only allowed to use prime number.
Sorry?
We are only allowed to use prime numbers.
I'm sorry, I didn't got your point. You can use any number. You just have to ensure that if you will multiply it with 6. See, if instead of multiplying with 7, we have got if we have multiplied by 6, we will get 6 into 6, 36, then power 3, 6 to the 12 plus 56. So 56 is much less than the 193. You will have to find out any multiple which is closer to 193 or exactly equal to 193. Okay, you just need to make sure that you are not required to take any number because of which the answer that you are getting is greater than 193. It should be equal to 193. It should be closer to 193, but it should not be more than 193 or very less than 193. Okay.
Yes, sir.
You can take any number. So this will be, we will again subtract 193 minus 189. We will get 9 plus 4. Okay. Now what do? We will simply add 7 plus 27, like we have done earlier. 1 plus 1 2. Similarly 1, we have added this 1 plus 1, we have wrote it here 2. Similarly we will again add 7. 7 plus 7, how much? It will be 34. 34. Now since we have already taken a decimal, so we can put the 2 zeros here. Okay, then now you have to ensure by which number we should multiply this value, so that it will be either exactly equal to 400 or less than 400. So let's suppose if I multiply it with 2, so I'll have to write down 2 here as well as here. So 342 when multiplied by 2, it will be greater than 400, right? It will be greater than 400. So that means I cannot take 2 here. I'll have to take only 1. So just a minute. So if I take 1 here, I'll be taking 1 here as well. Then I will multiply 341 by 1 only. So we will get 341, which is obviously less than 400. If I take 2, the value will be greater than 400. That will be not correct. Okay. Now we will again subtract 341 out of 400. So we will get 59. Right? Is this clear to you?
Yes, sir.
Now we will again add 1 into in 341. So we will write down 342. 341 plus 1, we will get 342. Now we will put 2 zeros here and try to multiply it by any number, so that it will be equal to 5900 or it will be less than 5900. So if I multiply here by 2, it will become greater than 5900. So what I will do, I will multiply it by 1 only. 1. So again I'll put 1 here. Okay. And similarly I'll write 3421 like this. Is this clear to you? This is how we calculate under root.
Sir,
Now you just not required to find out more values, more than I mean you need to just find out 3 values after decimal. 1.711. This will be sufficient. Or either you can also find out only 2. That will also be correct.
yes, sir. How did the zeros come there? 5900.
59. Okay. See, when you take the decimals here, say when this decimal is carried to, when this decimal is shifted here, that means now if there are no values left, you can put zeros, and whenever you put 0, you will be putting 0 in pairs only. So like see here also 193 minus 89, we are only left with 4. So we have put zeros, but we cannot put 1 0 only. We have to put 2 zeros. So therefore I have put 2 zeros here. Again, after subtracting 341 out of 400, we got 59. Since 59 is less than 342, so I'll have to add zeros again. But how many zero I'll be adding? I'll be adding 2 zeros. So this is why I'm putting 0 in the pairs. Is this clear to you?
Okay.
Okay.
Yes, sir. Understand. Thank you for explaining.
Okay, no problem. So this is a basic concept, Alexander. You should already know this. But if you didn't understood it by now also, then I would recommend that you go through few videos on YouTube. They will be helping you to how help calculate the under root. Okay. All right. So we have got 1.711 after solving under root. Then we will multiply it by 100, and we will get 171.1. This will be our answer. Okay.
Okay.
All right. Okay, so we have discussed almost everything in the index number. and we won't be doing any more question. I'll be giving you few question in assignment, and by doing those questions you will be able to complete the chapter on your own. So right now what we are going to do, we will be starting a new chapter. That this is going to be the last chapter of the statistics. No, this is going to be we have left some portion in the dispersion chapter also. So after completing this chapter we will be continuing our dispersion chapter. Okay, so for now let's start with a new topic, and new topic is, we will be talking about the correlation. Put the heading. The chapter that we are going to talk about is correlation. Correlation. So you are not required to write down anything for now. Just try to understand what is correlation. So first we will start with the meaning of the correlation, but let me tell you what is correlation in general parlance, in general language. What we can say, correlation is what? Correlation is just like any other tool. Correlation is also a statistical tool. Just like index number, correlation is also a statistical tool. And as I've told, tool have a separate use. Like for example, when we were talking about index number, what is index number? So index number is also a statistical tool, but the use of this tool is to find out the changes in a variable over a period of time. Changes in variables over a period of time. This is what index number helps us in finding out. Similarly, when we were talking about, if you are able to recall this, when we were talking about dispersion, in dispersion also, I've told you that dispersion is again a statistical tool. The purpose of this tool is to find out the variation. It helps in the determination of variation in a statistical series. It helps you to find out the degree of fluctuation in a statistical series, fluctuation or variation. Similarly, tools like mean or mode or median, what are these? So these are tools which is used to determine the central tendency of a statistical series. Central tendency, or you can say the average of a statistical series. So the thing is that every statistical series have different use. Index number have a different use, dispersion have a different use. So every tool has been designed to help us to determine different things. Similarly, correlation is also a statistical tool, but the purpose of correlation is not to find the changes in a variable, not to find out the variation in a statistical series, not to find out the average of a statistical series. Then what is the purpose of, what is this tool used for? So the tool correlation is used for finding out the relationship between variable, how two variables are interrelated with each other. That's that we can determine through this statistical tool. So if let's suppose if I want to determine the relationship or the degree of relationship or the extent to which two variables are interrelated, so in order to determine the degree or the extent of relationship between two variables, I'll have to use the correlation. In order to determine the relationship, I cannot use dispersion, mean, median, mode, or any other statistical tool. If I want to establish the relationship, I'll have to use the correlation only. So correlation is nothing but the statistical tool, just like index number, dispersion, and every other tool. Correlation is also a statistical tool, but the purpose of this tool, use of this tool, is to determine the relationship between variables. And relationship between variable can be, sir, what do you mean by relationship? When we will say that two variables are related, see, whenever the change in one leads to the change in the other variable, that means two variables are interrelated. Let's suppose if I talk about price of a commodity and demand of a commodity, price and quantity, demand of a commodity. Tell me, Alexander, do you think both of these variables are interrelated? Quantity of a commodity and price, do you think these are interrelated or not?
Yes,
do you
sir.
think? Yes. That means if we change one variable, the impact of the change can be seen on the other variable, right? So therefore
sir.
we say that both these variables are interrelated. So sir, how correlation is going to help in determining the relationship? So what correlation do? Correlation basically tells you the degree to which two variables are related, extent to which both these variables are interrelated, and nature of relationship you can also determine on the basis of the correlation. Like for example, let's talk about the nature of relationship. So if I say that price affect the quantity or quantity get affected by the price, that means both are interrelated. But tell me how they are related. So you will say that sir, both of these variables are negatively related. Negatively related, that means when price of the commodity will increase, this will lead to the decrease in demand of the commodity, right? So that means both these variables are interrelated with each other, and what is how they are related? Negatively related. Similarly, when you will compare the price of the commodity with the supply of the commodity, you will see that when price increases, supply of the commodity increases. That means both these variables are positively related, right? So correlation helps you to determine the value of a relationship, degree of a relationship in terms of numerical value, and also on the basis of correlation we will be able to understand what is the nature of relationship, whether two variables are interrelated with each other positively or negatively, whether two variables are even related or not. All of these things we can determine on the by using the correlation. Like for example, just tell me that do you think rainfall